Now, let me ask y'all something. What happens when a teenager becomes famous for being on the run from the police? Not famous because he made the best rap album. Not famous because he changed music. No. Famous because he literally is running from murder charges. And somehow the internet turned it into entertainment. Today, we're talking about Tay-K.
Police are still searching for a 17-year-old murder suspect described as a violent fugitive. Law enforcement sources confirmed that Taymor McIntyre is a suspect in a murder case in Mansfield and in a robbery in Arlington.
Because his name is trending again after a clip surfaced where family members appear to suggest he could be coming home soon.
Easier. So everything's set and final, and in the next few weeks, I'll keep you posted with the details.
Okay, I appreciate it. It's a pleasure.
Congratulations again. I'll speak with you soon.
Thank you.
All right, have a good one.
What are you talking about?
Your son coming home.
Girl.
Yo, son coming home.
I don't think that's what's happening, fam. This story really isn't about Tay-K getting released. This story is about what happens when young men start believing they're invincible. Because while I was researching this video, I couldn't help but think about another story we just covered on this channel, the Sean Gathright case. And the similarities are crazy. Different backgrounds, different circumstances, two totally different people, but the same thing. Young lives thrown away. Let's talk about it, fam.
I ain't never lost, I learned. Even if you double cross, I learned.
Back in 2017, the internet couldn't get enough of Tay-K. The story almost sounded fake. Teenage rapper, wanted by the police. He cuts off his ankle monitor, runs from house arrest, drops a song called The Race while literally running from law enforcement. It sounded like something Hollywood, except it was real, and that's why it blew up.
Back in front of a juvenile court judge today after months on the run. I'm Doug Dunbar.
And I'm Kaylee O'Kelly. Taymor McIntyre from Arlington also goes by Tay-K 47 in his rap songs and videos. And as Jason Allen has learned, McIntyre's music is helping him build social media support even from behind bars.
Well, tonight, that teenager is in a more serious setting than he has been in before. In his first court appearance, since he was captured by U.S. Marshals last month, the juvenile court judge decided that he should be held here in the jail with the adults, where hashtags and millions of video views won't have much influence.
People weren't just listening to the song. People were following the story, watching the manhunt, and watching somebody become famous while actively running from police. The internet loves chaos, and Tay-K became one of the biggest examples of that. Before long, major rappers were shouting him out. People were screaming "Free Tay-K." The song charted nationally, and suddenly a teenager facing serious criminal allegations became a celebrity. But while the internet was laughing, real families were grieving. And that's the part that people forget.
A former Marine who shot and killed a University of North Texas student during a tense exchange is going to prison.
How much time Eric Jamal Johnson will serve for the killing of Sarah Muchlechner is still up to a jury as the punishment phase in his murder conviction continues. Johnson claimed he only fired the gun to scare people in another car, not strike anyone.
Before Tay-K ever became famous, his name was already appearing in police investigations.
Witnesses from inside the car told police one of the people that stood out to them was in the back seat. He looked like a young person, maybe 16, but they say they'd seen him at a party and they realized it was him because of his braces. So police started looking on Twitter for images that people had posted from the party, and they say they identified that person who had braces, and they started looking through his photos from the party, and that's where they saw Johnson for the first time.
To track him down and get his positive identification.
According to court documents, a witness placed Johnson behind the wheel of an SUV that pulled up alongside Muchlechner's sedan New Year's morning, the designated driver, with 3 of her friends. Police say Johnson and the other young men in his SUV shouted derogatory, sexually explicit comments at the girls in Muchlechner's car. When Muchlechner attempted to drive off, a male passenger in her car said Johnson began firing through the driver's side window. The witness said he saw a muzzle flash of a black semi-automatic handgun. Much-Lechner was shot in the head, crashed into a pole, and later died.
She wasn't gangbanging. She wasn't committing crimes. She was simply driving friends home after New Year's Eve. Sarah was the designated driver, a role that most people would call responsible. A confrontation happened at a traffic light. Shots were fired. Sarah was struck. She crashed, and she died. The shooter was later convicted. Tay-K wasn't accused of pulling the trigger, but his name appeared in connection with the vehicle involved. And unfortunately, that would not be the last deadly situation tied to his name.
He recorded songs about being on the run. Now teenage rapper Tay-K is facing time in prison. The viral star was in court today as trial testimony started over his part in a deadly home invasion.
Months later came the Mansfield robbery. This is where things really changed.
Tay agreed to participate in a robbery. Tay participated in a robbery. But he stood up here yesterday in front of you and in front of this court and accepted responsibility for what he agreed to do and what he participated in, and pled guilty to the robbery by threats using a gun, threatened somebody with a gun in counts 3 and counts 4. The girls planned this. They set it up, and the boys were supposed to come in and hold everybody off, and Tay-K had a bag. He was going to get the money and the drugs from under the couch and run back out. Well, that's not what happened.
A robbery was planned. Several people were involved. The target was a house. What started as a robbery ended with 21-year-old Ethan Walker dead. Ethan wasn't just a name in court documents. He was a father. He had a family. People who expected him to come home, and he never did. Now, here is something that young people need to understand.
McIntyre's attorney argued there's no way he could have known a planned robbery would turn into a murder.
You don't have to pull the trigger to spend decades in prison. If prosecutors prove you participated in a crime, you can still receive life-changing sentences. A lot of young people think, I wasn't the shooter. The law doesn't always see it that way. And that's exactly what happened to Tay-K. Most rappers dream about going viral. Tay-K did, but in the worst way possible, because his fame wasn't built around success. It was built around destruction. The song became bigger than anybody expected. Millions of views, national attention. But here's the real problem. The same internet that celebrates you today will forget about you tomorrow. The prison sentence doesn't go away. The victims don't come back. The consequences stay. That's why I always tell people, never confuse attention with success. They are not the same thing. A lot of people get attention. Very few actually build something that lasts. Now let's address the question everybody is asking. Tay-K getting released. According to the information currently available as of this recording, his parole eligibility remains decades away. Could something be happening legally? Sure. Appeals happen, sentence modifications happen, attorneys work on cases all the time, but based on what is publicly available right now, there is nothing suggesting Tay-K is about to walk out of prison next week. Could that change? Possibly. But if you're asking me today, I'm not betting on it. And this is where I want to connect this to Sean Gathright. I recently covered Sean's story on this channel. I'm gonna drop the link in the description because I think everybody should watch it. Because what stood out to me is how different these two young men were.
You have characterized your and your brother Sean's childhood as a good, nice, loving childhood growing up. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
You said that both of you had wonderful, loving, supportive relationships. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Sean wasn't known for living that lifestyle. He wasn't known for some hardened street figure. He had opportunities and people believed in him. Yet somehow he still ended up making decisions that changed everything around him.
What was the upbringing like, you know, in your home with Tay-K growing up?
I mean, basically, we have been in foster care since we were like really young, like damn near all our life. You feel me? Like, so we never stayed with our parents. We kind of stayed in different foster homes, you know, bouncing around. We stayed in Las Vegas. That's where we were in foster care at. But you know, like that was basically like life for us.
Tay-K came from instability. Sean appeared to come from structure, yet both stories ended up with devastation. Maybe it's about the decisions they make when they're under pressure, because eventually every young man reaches a point where they have to choose. That decision can change everything. At the end of the day, this isn't really about Tay-K's release date. It's a reminder. One bad decision, one robbery, one crash out, and your entire future can disappear. Not just yours, but somebody else's too. Drop your thoughts down below. Do you think Tay-K is actually getting released? Or do you think it's just another rumor? And while you're down there, let me know what you think about the comparison between Tay-K and Sean Gathright. This is Not a Drill TV. Welcome to the circle. It's your boy Beat Millie, and we out, fam.
If not, then it's all up. It's all up. If not, then it's all up.